Thanks for tuning in to another episode of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, thanks to all of our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week. Thanks to Angelo's Pizza, always serving up hot, delicious pizza for us and bringing it to our live events so that we can sell it to you when of course, we're able to sell the pizza to you there. If you want to check out what they have, and they offer so much more than pizza, visit Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. Thanks to Pollyanna DIY. Check them out with all their merchandise and things that they make. It's great. They'll make some custom things for you if you ask. Also, thanks to Smart Mark Video, you can check out previous AIW shows. They're always there to record our live events so that you can stream them, available for download or purchase on DVD. And also thanks to IndependentWrestling.tv. Sign up for your subscription using the code ABSOLUTE. Get an extended trial and watch previous AIW shows as well as multiple other promotions. Did I cover that?
That's a mouthful.
It is a lot. Yeah, right there. I'm going live. On this week's episode, we are going to
I hope people like the, we've cut out the pre-taped intro. Maybe people...
yeah, we used to not pre-tape it, and then we did it.
For a long time.
Cut it out.
And then, our listenership went down, so maybe, I felt like people were like, oh, man, this is the same episode again.
We did used to banter during the opening ads.
But we had, a lot more ads then, so we had a lot more to cover.
That's true. That's actually how the JAK originally started, because Biggins just always had to chime in when I would do the live ads at the opening of the show.
And, they're still kind of sponsoring us, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Not worth a mention, though.
Yeah,
We'll see. Look, we might be free agents with our merchandising. We'll see.
I don't know about to order up those new Mania Weekend exclusive snapbacks, but they sent me a fucked up proof, so I'm scared to fucking pay for it.
Well, on this week's episode, we are going to cover. It's a preview as we go into the 7-year itch. Our show coming up here March 8th with Billy Kidman. He's going to be our special guest. At yet another new venue for us.
Yes,
in Parma, and
that was one of the things. That was one of the things that we really didn't go too much into about what we were doing on the time off. But finding venues, we were looking for venues from. I don't know when did they tell us they're kicking us out in October?
October, yeah.
So from October all the way through January.
And we thought with our one in December, we did the trial run. We thought maybe that's going to be okay. And then we're like, nope, we got to keep looking. So that happened.
Well, we kind of knew we had to fill some dates in between just because, I don't know. I just got this weird feeling with waiting it out for that guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's find some more spots. And, this place had hosted another wrestling promotion that ripped them off. And it was kind of like a no wrestling here ever again situation. And, old Dr. Dan went and he put on one of his fucking suits that he invested in recently.
How about that?
And, tossed the tie on and went down and gave a little speech to the church people over there.
What a guy.
And motivational speech?
No, I think it was a let us run your venue. We're not going to rip you off speech.
So is this going to go as well as Dr. Dan's running of the after party at the last Akron show?
Well, Dr. Dan's he's kind of at even. You know what I mean? It's like
he's got one fuck up and then one good thing.
Until he takes that tent out of the warehouse, he's on my shit list.
Yeah, well, we're not getting into this tent
Before
situation.
We get too deep into the episode, of course, let me introduce our panel here on this show. You've already heard from the Duke. He is joining us, as well as the Bone Collector, Dominic Guarini. Wes Barkley back here again.
Back at it.
Of course, AIW owner John Thorne. And my name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts. So, yeah, we are going to I'm going to screw up the name. St. John
the Baptist
of Byzantine.
I believe so, yes.
All right.
Good work, Steve.
Thanks. It's a mouthful.
I just call it St. John.
That was as much as much to say as the ads up front.
I call it St. John.
All right. We got some tickets still available.
Yes, we do. We have some tickets still available. I've tweeted it out. I just don't know if people understand.
Just pop the chair.
But did you break my
that fast lane chair?
I broke AJ.
Oh,
No. I don't know what it was. Apparently, Steve got gained a bunch of weight.
too
in his
much
time
beard
off.
weight.
Broke my Fastlane chair. There goes. That's like that's like a baseball card investment, man. I'm hoping to cash in on that down the line.
Yeah, you're gonna not want to count on that.
That's
As someone who's in charge of portfolio, you don't want to invest in souvenir chairs. They don't have a good turnaround.
Actually, they do, but
well, it didn't.
I don't know about that.
It didn't cost me any money, so
All right, well, you're already ahead then.
So
know.
anyway,
I'm going to take better care of that than the original Brown Stadium chairs that I got for Christmas one year that my dad just left
man,
outside
those
by
are
his
great.
pool.
Those are probably worth a little bit more money, but
Not no more.
no, not anymore.
They were in pristine condition then, but
so we will be at St. John. Like I said, Billy Kidman is our guest, and this is a guy that you've kind of wanted to bring in.
well, before you even get
okay.
into that, what I was saying before you
sorry.
introduced
Before
the
I
panel
broke the
was,
chair.
I've kind of tweeted it, but this venue has a much smaller capacity than Ohio Nets and the Mount Carmel. It's
yes, we're talking
there's
about ticket sales. Yeah,
there's not a bleachers situation there, so it's going to be a much tighter fit in there. So if you are, we've actually put 100 less tickets out than usual. So if you are one of those like, hey, I'm taking my chances at the door because these places are big, I would suggest going to shop.aiwrestling.com and buying those tickets soon, before Friday, so we can get like an accurate kind of idea of how many people are coming, because right now, like we've never set up in that building before. We have a lot more equipment than the other companies that have run there. So capacity is going to be kind of at it's going to be limited. So I would highly, highly suggest buying the tickets in advance.
because there are no bleachers, we'll probably have more chairs than usual. Would you say?
Set up, yeah,
Yeah.
I would think.
So, but even still, you're not going to have a chair for every single person,
And-
obviously.
And from what I understand, everything that has been there previously has been pretty
sparsely attended.
sparsely attended. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So, yeah, we're hoping that it is not sparsely attended this Friday, and
It's well attended.
well attended. However, there's going to be approximately 100 less tickets available than usual.
All right, so there you go. Get on shop.aiwrestling.com. There it is. So with that being said, Billy Kidman, let's get into that. You've been after Billy Kidman for a little while. This has been an idea for some time.
Yeah, we talked a couple years ago, right? When we were doing more stuff with the WWE producers. He was a guy that was also kind of offered to us, and the dates that I initially sent him didn't work out, and then as the schedule kind of went on from that point, kind of a guy that never really found the time to be able to do it, because the thing about Mount Carmel was there were only a few dates in which we would be able to do a seminar prior to the show.
Right.
So it was kind of like, can't do it this day, can't do it this day, can't do it this day. And then like, just one of those things where it just never lined up. With this place, it's not like an active school. So, we can get in there at 10 o'clock in the morning and set up. So I thought, I texted Billy Kidman and I asked him if he was still interested, and, we worked out a deal. He does like no appearances either. So it's very, very rare. He actually announced that this is probably going to be like one of his last appearances ever.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how true that is, or if he was just kind of like fucking around. But yeah, he doesn't do too many of these.
He's super busy with his WWE job, though. He times everything. Like his main job is as a producer. He's the time man, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He's like, he times out the shows and cuts. Will say, hey, we got to cut this segment, or he's pretty like high ranking as far as being a WWE executive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was, and that's what I was going to say too. Not only he's another guy that we're bringing in. Not only is he somebody that the fans are going to enjoy and take advantage of with the meet and greet, but another investment into the wrestling education of the AIW.
Yeah, and all these fucking students that are listening to this, you better take that fucking clinic, because it's not like it's not like it's just like this easy, like, cheap thing to bring in a WWE producer and get them to agree to do a training seminar and teach you some of this knowledge. I mean, just to get that out there.
How many have signed up as of?
We don't pre-sign the kids up. They kind of just show up.
Oh, okay.
Everyone that I've talked to has said, "Oh, we're coming," but
that's been said for every seminar we've ever done. So
Yeah, look, if you've been hesitant to go be an extra in the Fed because you're not willing to drive, your ass better be at the seminar and get in front of a WWE.
Will you be buying him anything like you did Ultimo Dragon in the terms of scotches or cigars?
no, that's more like a Japanese tradition. I think American people just want their money.
LaPark wanted more of his money. Ultimo Dragon wanted
You wanted
cigars
more-
and scotch.
more of our
Kidman
money.
just wants what.
Masato
We
wanted
agreed to.
Monster Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Masato.
Oh, that's perfect for us.
Masato
We
did
got a
not
lot of
want-
that.
did not want alcohol.
Will there be an opportunity to powerbomb Kidman at the meet and greet?
No.
I don't know. I mean,
I would have gone, as I mentioned to you off the air, I would have gone with the
Thorn.
aircraft carrier in the lake, the powerbomb contest a la Yokozuna Slam Challenge.
the USS Intrepid.
Yeah, if you can't pull that off.
What's the ship down there that we got?
William
The
G.
COD,
Mather.
it's a submarine.
No, don't we
do the COD, the Mather.
the Mather,
ship, yeah.
the William Mather,
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the USS COD.
William
the
S.
COD,
Mather,
yeah.
right?
COD is a submarine,
submarine,
yeah.
yeah.
But the Mather's a
Powerbomb
barge.
inside of a submarine. I don't even think that's possible.
Which theme will we be playing on loop throughout the meet and greet? The 2004 you can run but you can't hide, or the
I like the WCW cut.
See, I'm more in the WWE cut, but that's because it was more of like my
I say we get all his entrance music though on the tracks. The pre
Tracks.
What kind of 8x10s will we be getting? Will we be getting young upstart?
Oh,
Billy
everything.
Kidman? Will we be getting?
I try to get a variety.
Will we be getting any flock Billy Kidmans?
Oh yeah, Sick Boy.
Oh,
I would like
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping that we can get some flock stuff together in time. But the 8x10s, I usually over order 8x10s, but I come across so many cool things that I'll never have a place to display all these 8x10s, but I got them.
Do you think Billy Kidman will sue you for unauthorizedly using his image?
I don't.
like LaPark.
I don't think so.
Okay, these are questions we have to ask now. LaPark has set the precedent. We have to ask these questions.
Well,
You know what's funny about that is I was listening to a Meltzer Wrestling Observer Radio, and they announced LaPark for StarCast, and he was even like, "Well, I don't know how that's gonna go," because
He listens to the podcast apparently. How you doing, Dave?
Well, no, I guess I guess he's got the he's got a bit of a reputation at the meet and greets of so
So,
that just went off all over the place.
yeah.
Well, you gotta we have to ask these questions. We know how. Oh, sorry.
LaPark, yeah, this wasn't mentioned a couple weeks ago, a month ago, when we talked about LaPark. Before the show, I was talking to him while he was cracking one of those monsters. I think you were recording, and I was trying to, just talk to him a little bit, and he's like, "Are we wrestling tonight?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Who am I wrestling?" And I pointed over to Gage, and he's like, "Were you in WCW?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Okay," and drank a sip of his monster, and I just was like, "All right, this
Did he think
convo's
you were
over."
Billy Kidman?
Maybe, who knows? But as soon as that happened, I was like, "This convo's over. I'm getting out of here."
Did he think you were one of the 3 count?
Which one of 3 count would I be?
Whichever one you like to
Evan
be.
Courageous.
You think?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll take that. I gotta cornrow my hair or whatever. But
I forgot that he asked you if you were WCW. He definitely thought that you were a WCW wrestler.
I'll take it. He was like, "Hey,
How old were you
amigo."
when WCW even folded?
4 or 5. So
Sounds about right. You probably had a multi-year deal, top dollar, 2
Right.
shows a year.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I forgot about LaPark. I think Wes Barkley was a WCW wrestler.
Aside from a Billy Kidman, let's talk about more of the show. One of my favorites. Let's just get right into it. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Swoggle versus Big Twan Tucker.
He's got to get a warm up for fucking Big Papa Pump.
Swoggle's not woke. Swoggle, I've for the amount of time I spent with Swoggle since you've been bringing him in, I can tell you 100% he's not woke.
Twan's gonna wake him up.
All I can remember is Twan bouncing him multiple times during the Akron show.
Oh, Swoggle is not happy
2018.
about this matchup. Let me tell you,
I believe that.
he is not happy because
Swoggle's never happy.
Because Twan beat the fuck out of him in Akron a couple months ago.
Yeah. It was
And,
like a year ago.
A year ago,
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember sitting in that corner and him looking over at me like, oh my, I'm dying, Steve, I'm dying, give me water. One of the rare times that I had to give him water during a match.
Yeah, he's not happy about this one, but
So what was your idea of this? Just to piss him off?
Powerhouse, get ready for
He's
Papa Pump.
checking him because Swoggle's trying to bring us down from the inside. So, he's checking him.
yeah, call back to that
He got
AMA.
called back to New York, and he's dropping dimes on everything.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like
This is like when Bill Alfonso had to blade against.
Okay, I guess I'll I'll get into this part. So he going into the Steiner match, like a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month or two ago, he was like, "Hey," he's like, in March, he's like, "I want to wrestle Student," and he's like, I just want to wrestle Student. He's like, I want to fucking, I want to throw him around and shit. And
Time
Who does
out.
he think he's throwing
Time
around?
out.
Let's be
yeah.
realistic.
Out of all the students, is he gonna throw around like Josh or like Wes? Or
listen,
Zaytoven makes his debut. I
Stop.
think that's the only person.
he was,
Swoggle wanted to squash someone.
He wanted
Weird
to-
body. That's
he-
the only person
he-
I think he can throw around.
he wanted to squash somebody getting ready for Big Papa Pump, like do a bunch of power moves. And so I said, okay.
I mean, he is strong. He is strong.
I said, okay, if you want a Student, here you go. Big Twan Tucker.
Tucker, gonna wake him up.
And he wasn't too happy with that. But to my credit, he asked for a Student. I gave him a Student.
did.
He wasn't specific on which Student.
Yeah, that's fair.
When you make a deal with the devil, you got to be specific.
Yeah, and he was not specific. So you like how Duke just tries to slide in on the devil there.
Yeah.
Oh, I figured everybody already knew that. I didn't realize I was breaking the fourth wall on
I mean,
that
yeah. In fairness, nobody disputed it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
I
all
mean,
just like, yeah, okay, continue on talking.
one. Continue on, devil. Go ahead, Beelzebub.
Pay you guys in dreams.
Do you have sympathy for the devil?
I do not. Yeah, just going back to that one, huh?
Pay you guys in dreams.
So, Big Twan, this is probably the most marquee match that Big Twan I think has had thus far in AIW. Wouldn't you say?
I would say maybe his career. Has Big Twan ever tangled with a guy that's been on 5 WrestleManias?
Negative. Well, I mean, he technically tangled with Swoggle once,
Yeah,
the
but
belt.
one-on-one,
That was a
I guess.
tag.
Not single.
but
though.
it's singles. This is definitely Twan's biggest, highest profile singles
He's
match.
never worked anyone that's had a 10-year run.
5 WrestleManias, brother.
I don't think he's ever worked anyone that's worked extra work.
Will
You tell me fucking Cash Flow never did extra work?
Yeah, I don't believe so. Former IW Mid-South champion Cash Flow.
Will Swoggle attempt to German Big Twan?
Oh, I'm sure.
Of course,
Good luck.
Let's
That's the whole point, apparently, of not to break it down for everybody, but apparently that's what he's gonna do.
I hope everybody like brings signs like when fucking Lesnar does Germans, you know what I mean? They get the fucking German count going.
There's
He's
no
taking
way.
the Yellow Brick Road to Suplex City. Is that
There's
what
no
you're
way
saying?
he gets those. No way he gets those arms around Twan Tucker.
No.
That was your friend Pete that said that, Dylan.
BFFs. You
We're
guys
stooling it afterwards. We're
you
stooling
guys
it.
on the stool.
We will be stooling at Nax afterwards. Nax, we're going
Yeah.
back to Nax.
Back to Nax.
It's a little further than Ohio Nets, but not too far. It's
It's still in the general neighborhood.
it's
though.
like
Dude, Nax was like you could have walked there from Ohio Nets. That was
yeah.
crazy.
So it's about a 10-minute drive as opposed to like that was like a 1-minute drive from Ohio Nets.
Will Swoggle go to the right hotel this time?
I don't know. Swoggle's got to be.
When he books his own reservation,
Well, he's got a big.
Think he would know what hotel
he's got.
going
He's
to.
got.
He's got Black Label the next
got Black
day.
Label the next day,
so
so-
he's not gonna. He's not flying. So
Who's he throwing around at Black Label?
I don't know. I don't know who's throwing.
Now
around.
he's on this big push now.
We go. Here's a match we want to talk about. Everybody always asks about women and the women of AIW and where that is at this point in time. Alley Cat's kind of like our
Semi-regular.
yeah.
She's kind of sliding into where like the spot that Britt Baker would have until she moved away.
Yeah, she's kind of like the flag bearer right now. The
She's-
AIW women's
she's
She
close.
marked her territory.
She's
and now
close.
She's not leaving.
She's close. You know, that's the thing. There's
That's the key.
Cats do, Dominic. They mark
The-
their
They marked
territory.
it.
the problem with the girls right now is there's not a lot in drivable distances right now.
And to that point, she is taking on somebody that's brand new that we have to fly in.
Yes, I mean, just to try to get a little bit ahead of the women's wrestling curve again. Like we're, like it's like dipping the toes in the water right now again, a little bit, But as I've stated many times, we don't know who's going to be available in a few months, so it's like, let's see what happens. But this goes to the worldwide theory of everybody ask if there's going to be girls there when he tries to promote a show.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying. If there's room to do more with it, I will. And it's just kind of like, okay, there was a spot on this show. Somebody wanted to know like the science of booking on Twitter. It's not like really science. It's kind of like
it's kind of what this whole show is saying.
how I'm feeling sometimes, and it's like, okay, let's do a girls match here.
Yeah.
And, then we could go multiple shows without a girls' match. You know what I mean? Because, that's just how it is.
So we're bringing Alex Gracia from Texas. We're bringing her in. She was just fresh off of a tour at Stardom in Japan.
She's been, doing, I would assume doing the Stardom Dojo stuff. And she was one of those girls that is showing up in a lot of GIFs in the feed.
That's what it's all about now, man. Gifts in the feed.
A GIF, Never watched the full match, so who knows how it could turn out.
Who watches the full match these days? Ain't nobody got time for that.
She had some cool GIFs, and
always gifts, man. Give it up.
That's really it. It's kind of like let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can get in, be in on the ground floor of something. Or maybe not, That's just kind of the risk you got to
tell the world and not to book someone.
Well, to your point of the gifts, are you surprised that we've had some decent fan interaction with the AIW account when you announced this booking, and there have been multiple people that knew exactly who she was and are looking forward to this. That at least did that ease your mind a little bit, give you a peace of mind, like okay, all right.
Nothing.
No, because there's a subset of wrestling fans who know every woman that wrestles,
and that doesn't necessarily mean they're coming.
And they've never had a bad match that they've seen, and it is what it is. So, whatever.
But yeah, nothing eases my mind though. Like the thing that eases.
That's true. I asked the wrong person that question.
I don't think I've ever had an eased mind ever when it comes to wrestling. Not. So it's like yeah. I mean, we're just gonna give it a shot and see what happens.
What else do we have? What's the kind of a marquee match we have going into this thing? We have we've got a new champ at this point.
We do have a new champ, but we don't need to be breaking. We don't have to break down the whole card, okay? I don't want this to be a full preview sort of thing. We do have, since he is here though, Mr. Dominic Garrini will be going for the Intense title.
Ooh, this is a big deal for you, Dominic Garrini.
Yeah, this has kind of always been the title that I've looked forward to trying to win here in AIW, and so
it's a work right title, as Patrick Hayes would say.
How much Patreon subscription did you have to pony up to get the shot?
I just had to beat young Mr. Kevin Thorne to get this shot.
Young?
Legally, I may add.
It's being respectful.
I am.
Young man.
He's probably younger than you.
Well, that's really not saying much.
Yeah. So why is this the title that you've looked forward to, Dom?
As Thorne kind of just said, in a joking term, it is kind of known as the work rate title. It was the title that, when I came in and, you do your history on AIW, it's the title that guys like Tyler Black have held, the guys that are known as the workers of the company have. And I think that, you look at, Joey Janela with his reign, and you look at, that little reign Don's had, now the reign that Matt Justice has had. It's the title that kind of proves that, you're one of the top guys in the company. And, it's something I've been working the last now. This match will be 2 days after my third, year in AIW, because my debut was March 6th, 2016. So
happy anniversary.
We hit March 8th, 2019, and now I challenge for the title. So it means a lot to me.
All right, very good. I mean, it's definitely, like you said, Joey Janela helped kind of set the bar of where these things are with the Intense title. And you go back to the Janela Don's match. When you talk about the Intense title, just the history in the last year, the ladder match stands out. Justice and Don's, Matt Justice going through the ramp. The intensity's there, but
See, that's the thing, though. Like, the intensity's there, but, I'm not here to do what they do. I'm here, to bring that mat wrestling and kind of that honor back to the title, and that's what my game plan is.
And I was going to say, you're
going to make him wrestle your kind of match? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm going to try to do.
Your matches with Tom Lawler in the last year plus certainly lend themselves to showing like what a Dominic Carini could bring to an intense title, because those were intense in their own right.
And your BJ Whitmer matches for that matter.
And
thank you. Yeah.
That's true.
Shout out to BJ Whitmer. Hope to see him again here soon, now that he's free from the chains.
He found himself right back in the corporate job. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't get suit BJ
stuff
Whitmer
like that,
too often.
and like my matches with Tracy, have been intense in their own way, and I mean, it's just something that, like, I feel like I've been working towards, title shots. Obviously, I had a chance at Tracy in the intense title or in the absolute title late last year, and it didn't come through. And I had that early tag title shot, and it didn't come through. So, I'm hoping the third time's the charm, and we'll see.
And then maybe young Joshua Bishop gets a shot.
Yeah.
As your tensions continue to grow.
If young Josh Bishop wants a shot, I mean, one thing I don't shy away from is a fight, so he can take it.
Sorry to just cut you off. Billy Kidman has just sent out a post really hyping up his seminar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Limited space. Don't miss out. What will you learn? Well, shit, I don't know. But considering 21 of my 25 years experience have been in WWE and WCW, surely there's something. At least I hope so.
Goodness.
That's his fucking sell.
At least he's honest.
There we go.
What a pitch.
It's going wild on Instagram right now.
All right. Shout out to Billy Kidman. Thanks for the post. The unique thing about this show is
TJ Wilson, Tyson Kidd said is encouraging.
Is this a comment on there?
Yeah, he left a comment. He's encouraging everyone to go. He said, check it out. This guy's a wrestling genius. He taught me a ton of FCW, and now Tyson Kidd is an agent himself. So
Yes.
And
there you go.
He taught me everything I know, and please help me find my rental car.
oh well, we're a couple of weeks
that didn't
removed from that,
happen,
but
Well,
Yeah.
has anybody found it yet?
callback.
Well, I don't know.
Another, but there's all sorts of stuff going on in this show.
Yeah, aside from
Yeah.
the matches, the interesting thing about this show now, as last week we covered what we had been up to in our break. Now we are in the midst of a whole lot of shows. I did the math on this, and this includes.
Don't tell me it's going to terrify me.
I can't wait for my comment that I have for you on this one, Thorne.
This
Terrified that Steve Guy did math?
including, well, we're not all CPAs, but some of us did go to the same business school as you, Duke.
Yeah, congrats
So,
on that.
Yeah,
I have a minor in business.
Oh my god! Before you got here, the alumni association called the Duke.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they did. It was
And
hilarious.
he put it on speakerphone, and man, it was something.
something.
They're trying to get some money out of him.
No, it wasn't the alumni association. It was a legit freshman, girl. She said she was going to study marketing.
Easy
she was
there.
Nervous as hell talking to me, and
yeah. I wonder why.
It must be in the marketing program to try to shake alumni down for some
guess
cash.
I'm like-
No, it probably is.
I'm like, nah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, that's probably one of their things.
But he did update his information, which his email is
Oh, hey, don't be putting that out there. Hey.
Oh no, I'm not putting it all out there, but his email is email, like his old wrestling gimmick, EMALE, and she was like email. It was all.
That's what everybody says when I tell them that.
God.
And then they laugh and laugh.
I wish.
Is that what you have on your resume?
That's what I used to have. I haven't put
when
out
you-
a resume in 10 years.
When you
Oh, my
run the
goodness.
company, you don't need
Yeah.
a resume.
I guess, yeah.
I wish I had the recording
Oh
equipment
my
up for
god,
that.
it'd been great.
Because that
But yeah,
conversation was something.
she goes, can I update your information? And I said, well, I think it's current. You did just call me. And then I gave her some other stuff and told her I wasn't giving her
Did you
any
ask
money.
her if maybe they want some 8x10s? They can.
No, I did tell
They
her
could try
not
to
to
sell and
I
get
did
some
tell
money?
her not to study marketing.
Yeah, it's a
He
good call.
just straight up
Yeah,
told
that's
her,
what I did.
This young girl, any advice for me? What's your major? Marketing. Oh, you should probably get out of that then.
Yeah, I said accounting and finance is where it's at.
Yeah, finance was too boring.
Okay.
For me. Anyway,
Speaking of accounting and finance, go ahead, Steve.
All right, including the Akron show that we just wrapped up. We are in the midst of 5 shows in 63 days, 6 shows in 84 days, 10 shows in 113 days.
Hey, Thorne. Do you remember when you said, "Hey, let's slow down this year and not run as much"?
Yep.
Oh,
10 shows in about a 4-month time span, 3.5 months realistically. I mean, that's most promotions will run 12 shows the entire year. We're doing 10 in 3.5 months.
It's probably not smart.
this is not our wisest decision.
How's our
We got a lot of stories to tell.
how's our PayPal account looking these days? We can afford these shows in case. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Are we going to make it if only 100 people show up to each show?
PayPal is there's a lot wrapped up in the New York, New Jersey area right now.
And that does include that math does include that.
Yeah, a lot is relying on that. To be perfectly honest, that show needs to do well.
You keep the receipt for that fancy new camera you bought?
Yeah.
It's an email receipt.
Or with that fancy new camera drums up some more money.
Yeah. So,
What were you thinking?
well, some situations presented themselves, and with the lack of venue security blanket, thought is we can't really pass up these opportunities, even though the schedule is a little tight right now.
Right.
But the idea is we may need these venue relationships for the second half of the year. So we can't kind of risk for them to lose interest, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it just kind of came together. And, also the WrestleMania weekend show is in there that is not a normal,
We would usually do it, right.
So even though we're doing 2 shows in April, it's really only 1 show in the Cleveland market, which we would normally do.
Right. 3 shows are over the course of a JLIT weekend, like we usually do.
Right.
So, once we break it down, it's not quite as bad, but
It is too much. I know it's too much, but
we do have 2 smaller venued shows. But
I think it's on point. This is, you guys we're kind of just going over the facts and the numbers here, but I don't think people are excited as they should be. Okay, so the last time we were in Cleveland, Parma to be exact, the Ohio Net Sports Complex was December 28th. So next week, is it? March 8th?
Yeah, this
Billy
coming weekend,
Kidman's
yeah.
coming. Billy Kidman's coming. I know we're getting over the fact but when are you going to see Billy Kidman again? So we're back to Cleveland.
according to him, you won't.
Exactly. So we're back to Cleveland, and then we go to WrestleMania weekend, which...
Oh,
No.
nope, you skipped
No.
one.
What did I skip? Oh, I skipped...
Wrestle Rave.
Wrestle Rave.
Wrestle Rave
Wow.
at Winchester.
At the Winchester. And what day is that on?
And
It's a Thursday, March
night.
20th.
Wow. That should be electric.
Thursday. Get your weekend started right.
I mean, and even Thorne can explain that one a little bit.
But yeah, let me just finish that
okay.
the whole
Finish that
schedule
everything up. Finish
overview
that
for the
everything up.
people to get them
Sorry.
hyped up.
Then
Because
we go
then we have
WrestleMania.
Mania, and I don't know if you people have been seeing these names that John Thorne has been announcing, but this is going to be absolutely bonkers. The show is going to be insane. And then April's not even over.
Then we
We got
come back.
Gauntlet for the Gold. We have
April 26th.
Josh Prohibition and M-Dog, 20 years. We have the franchise Shane Douglas and Francine. Are you kidding me? And then...
And then
Where are we going?
Then we go into
To where, though?
May. We are going to the Odeon.
The Odeon.
In
Yes,
the
that's
Flats.
right. The
Downtown
Flats.
Cleveland. We will be there.
Yep.
Our first time.
Yep.
First time
Pentagon
ever.
and Phoenix, the Lucha Brothers.
Lucha
Are you
Brothers.
kidding me?
1 week before Double or Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get it
1 week
right.
before Double or Nothing.
And then we're getting to the meat and potatoes, people. You would have already thought that was meat and potatoes
Oh,
when
no.
we're talking
Wait, is there
cheesecake
more?
now.
No.
Is there more?
There is
But
more.
there's- But wait, there is more
There
because
is more.
then the very next week is Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
And for those of you who aren't going out of town and you want some Memorial Day weekend plans, another new venue, Gold Horn Brewery on the east side of Cleveland. We will be there. It's an awesome venue. It's
Yep.
huge. Look, if you like beer, this is going to be the place to be. That's going to be it's not going to be quite now that's class because that's its own
Right.
thing by
But
itself.
we'll get there.
But a similar vibe. It's going to be standing room only, similar to the Winchester. It's going to be tight. but a little bit more space than the Winchester.
And there's nothing better than beer and wrestling.
Absolutely.
But then we get to the meat and potatoes, like I was
Then we
saying.
get to the meat and
JT
potatoes.
Lightning Invitational Tournament.
There it is. In June
With the
this
Chandler
year.
Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament. And you saw the Weird World cash those titles in, those
means
trophies in,
It means something.
and win the tag team championships. So you never know what's going to happen. And then we go to the cream of the crop.
That ends the 113 days.
That ends-
Well, what about Absolution?
I didn't.
How are you going to
don't
forget about
have a date yet.
I want to
Absolution?
put that in there
We don't have
because
a date yet.
I didn't want to make John Thorne too nervous.
No venue yet, but you know Absolution's right around that corner. And then the cheesecake, the New York cheesecake Wes Barkley loves to eat, Wrestle Rager. You will be there. But I just had to let everyone know
You
this.
just
Going all the way out to
hard
August.
sold the basically the entire year.
Well, you know,
almost.
sometimes people are listening.
Don West.
I just had to
joining us
get
in
this
the
out
room today,
because you know
folks.
we're bullshitting, we're talking. I'm allowed to swear, right? We're good. We're just talking, and you know sometimes people are listening to this on their dates to work on a Monday morning, drinking their coffee, and you
wanna
know
get
sometimes
pumped up.
I had to get them hyped up because I'm excited.
Man.
I mean this WrestleMania show is about to be insane. So I'm sorry. Back to your regularly
No,
scheduled
that was
podcast.
great. You didn't even
Thank
need a green screen to cut that promo. Fantastic.
Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, so he just ran down the whole schedule.
He did.
So what,
So we're done. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah,
we'll talk to you.
what did
next
you
week.
what did you want me to discuss, Dom?
The idea behind the Thursday night at the Winchester.
So you know, I talked about a couple weeks ago. The Winchester approached us, really wanting us to come back. However, they had concerts booked every Friday and Saturday for the next 6 months or something, and they offered us Thursdays and Sundays. I felt that Thursday would probably be better than a Sunday night, and this, you know, we're gonna do it a week before WrestleMania, the WrestleMania show, but this can get some people on that show that probably won't make it onto the WrestleMania weekend show. Also, there's going to be more talent, you know, some talent around. Like that's how, you know, we wind up with the Session Moth debut. So it's kind of like we get the date, then we lock down Session Moth, and then it's like, okay, now here's the theme for the show. You know, we can base it around her. It's going to be a fun vibe. And it's kind of like, let's do something to kind of get everybody that's going away to New York. Like, let's get us in the mode to be like, fuck yeah, like we're going to fucking New York, New Jersey, and we're going to put on a fucking awesome show. And like, let's set the fucking tone 1 week out that, you know, we're going in with a purpose.
The other thing that we're doing with shows like that and Goldhorn Brewery, the other thing that all these shows are affording us, some people maybe don't know that in Akron we had, I guess for lack of better terms, we had a tryout so that we could see new faces, because as the industry unfolds and we don't know who's going where, it allowed us to discover new people, and these opportunities are affording us the opportunity to see more of those people.
Right. Like it's kind of going to be, you know, some of these additional shows are kind of going to be like half and half, like, you know, the AIW roster guys and characters that you know, and then some of these newer guys and girls that we discovered at the tryout that we did in Akron, because there's quite a few talented people. You know, some of them made their way onto that event. Some of them didn't, but they were still very good.
Right.
They just didn't work for that situation. So now we kind of have some room on these additional shows to where we don't, you know, it's like when you book the dates, you book your core guys, and, you know, you have to have them on those shows. But now we're adding these dates. There's more wiggle room as far as, you know, spots go.
Yeah.
So, you know, we could not try out, but, you know, we could start to establish these new kind of guys and make people familiar. And it's, what's good is it's, as great as the guys coming out of the school are, these guys are equally as hungry, if not hungrier, because they're kind of coming in with the handicap of they didn't come from the AIW school. So they have a lot to prove, which creates kind of a very exciting atmosphere for the live crowd, because these guys are going to be going above and beyond.
Plus, it also it helps us agree to do shows like this, because they're not like the show that we're the Winchester show and the brewery show just kind of happened. It's just like somebody makes a phone call, hey, are you guys free on this date or whatever else? If it's not in the set schedule, maybe that's, well, we really can't because our guys have these dates carved out for us and they're off doing whatever else they want to do on these other dates.
Right.
But now that you have this talent pool, I guess you want to call it, that you can pick from, it opens up your ability to run more shows and make more money and give people more exposure that maybe wouldn't get it somewhere else.
And we're also doing these additional shows at a cheaper price point as far as, there's not going to be a premium front row or premium GA. Right. They're probably both going to be, Russell Rave is going to be a flat 20. Probably the Goldhorn Brewery show is probably going to be the same. If not cheaper, I don't know. We haven't really run the numbers on it yet. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, my worry is obviously I don't want to burn out the fan base, but there is, it's like not everyone's going to Double or Nothing. People are going to be like hungry for wrestling that day. Mm-hmm. Especially in this area, we've run Memorial Day weekend almost for fucking ever, because this is May 25th is actually the AIW debut date. It's actually the anniversary show. If you get technical about it, we just never really acknowledge that. So it's just kind of like, we get these deals with these with these two venues, and it's very low risk for us other than talent. But I would if I had to guess, I would lighten up the second half of the year based on all those shows.
Right.
But we don't know what's coming, because the thing is like these kind of like the legend of AIW, and I don't even want this to sound like arrogant, but it's kind of starting to spread to some of these businesses that are being run or managed by younger people, and they know, like the Goldhorn Brewery thing comes about because the manager attends AIW events.
Their bar manager attends we walked in there and he was there that day,
and he's offering us beers, and it's like, it's kind of bizarre because it's like, he's like, oh my God, you guys, like you guys are from AIW, and like this is so exciting, and it's like everything about it. I wanted to say no based on the time frame, but I just could not say no because it was just other than how extensive the schedule is, it was like a too good to be true sort of thing.
It was weird to walk into a place because we were meeting with their marketing and events manager that day, but this was the guy who set it up, and he's behind the bar, and we walk in, he's like, hey guys, how's it going? Introduces himself. He's like, Steve and John, right? John Steven. I'm like, yeah, that's us. What's up, man?
So it's just kind of like, and it's, I understand that there's a demographic of fans that hate the new stuff and seeing the new people, and they just want to see the big indie names. But there is also a demographic of that likes seeing the new people grow.
And that's what I was gonna say. I want to jump in. It's hard for, with the amount of students we have that are coming out of the school now, it's hard to get them on every show. It's actually extremely difficult. So by adding, these kind of more localized, smaller shows where we get these smaller venues, it gives a chance to kind of cultivate these students into something that the fans will want to see. Guys that, debut at the Biggins Cup, but then can't, sneak onto all the cards because, there's just not room with, where the roster's at, Guys like TKD, guys like Ryder Reed, guys like Wes over here, it's giving them more opportunities to get out there and make the fans say, you know what, these guys are getting good, I want to see them.
Plus, it's a good atmosphere to learn how to work in, because it's a little more intimate, it's a little more out of control, if you will, because it's bar shows, it's whatever else. So the people aren't as what's the word I'm looking for?
Attentive?
Not attentive. They're just a little more intense with their fandom, if you will.
Okay.
Like, you have your set people at.
It's a looser environment at the bar gig.
Yeah, it's a looser crowd, and it's a little more vocal crowd, a little wilder crowd, and so it puts the workers on their toes. They're not. A lot of them aren't used to that. A lot of them aren't used to reacting and being able to think on their feet in front of.
It's not like a regular AIW crowd where they come and they want to see
right.
great wrestling. This is more of
They want to just be
Like
entertained. in
at the
general.
regular AIW show, you see, and I love them. You see the same people in the same seats every time, and it's great. At these shows, it's just a little bit different because it's a different vibe. It's different people. It's a different atmosphere,
Well,
and it's good for the workers to be in that atmosphere.
and with
to
that
experience that.
and with that said, a lot of the reason why we are doing this is all the regular AIW shows. You know, if you want to talk about the Mount Carmel shows or however you want to word them, you know, everyone loves those shows. There's great stuff on those shows, but everyone says the best show of the year is Wrestle Rager because
Right.
it's looser, it's a little bit more, you know, like unpredictable and stuff like that. So it's kind of like if we can, we're not going to replicate Wrestle Rager other than Wrestle Rager, but if we can come close a couple other times a year, you know what I mean, and create some more fun atmospheres for people, we're going to give it a shot.
Well, the other side of this too is we've talked about it many times. It's for us to survive, while we love the passion of our regular fans, and sometimes, you know, we've talked about it with Barkley Nation when they get offended, like all these other people come in. Well, we've been fans here forever. For us to survive, we need new fans. This opportunity affords us to partner with local businesses. If you think that Winchester isn't going to help market the shows, or that a Goldhorn Brewery isn't going to help market the shows, like, hey, this is what's happening here, you know, you're mistaken, because now we have businesses teaming up with us to get the word out about it, and it opens fresh eyes to our product and what we are.
And I don't know if I've even finished my thought because I went off on a rant, but what I was saying is you know, the legend of AIW is kind of spreading to these people that are younger, that are running these businesses, or, you know, or management positions, to where it's like they know what we could, you know, what we can bring to them, to where, you know, if we went to like a real venue, okay, like a music venue, so like in Agora or one of these big venues in Cleveland, you know, we went to the Masonic Temple recently, and it's just kind of like they don't really know what we got to offer. They just want, you know, us to pay quite a bit of money, to where some of these other businesses that are run by people that have come and seen it with their own two eyes and know what we can do, and, you know, what we can bring to the table for them.
There's a level of respect already that they have for what we
and
bring.
You know, not to even go back on this, these venues will not, you know, not St. John the Baptist, but you know, the Odeon, the Winchester, Goldhorn Brewery, alcohol will be served, which is a big thing that we're trying to figure out how to be able to do again.
Do our fans like beer?
Because we cannot do it anymore. You know, like, unless we get some other things going on, we can't do it the way that, you know, it was done in the past. So, you know, it's like, okay, let's try to make these relationships now, add these extra dates, and then maybe we're doing more at the Goldhorn Brewery the second half of the year.
Right.
You know, maybe we're doing, you know, more at the Winchester if the Thursday thing goes well.
Well, if it's successful, basically what you have is you have another day. The bar has another day where they're going to get 200 plus people that are ideally going to spend money, buy drinks that wouldn't be in that place otherwise.
Right.
Right.
So that's as long as we can do that, they're going to want us to come back as long as they have an open spot.
Right. And it's kind of like we don't have any dates set beyond this 118 days or whatever you said it was.
113.
So it's like, let's build up these relationships and see what works, see what doesn't work. And then, you know, now we have options, to where Mount Carmel, we were there for so long, when they kind of pulled the rug out from underneath us, it was like, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
Same thing when Turner's Hall closed down. Same exact thing. It was like, what the fuck do we do? Because we were so set in a home base, which I still believe in a home base, but now we're developing options. And, you know, it's good to have options right now because we don't have a home base. And even if we do find a home base, it's good to make these relationships and keep the door open.
So all that being said, the crazy run continues with stop number 2 this Friday, March 8th at St. John the Baptist of Byzantine in Parma. Get your tickets, shop.aiwrestling.com. As John said earlier in the show, we won't have as many tickets available online as we usually do due to the fact that we haven't really seen this setup yet.
To be perfectly honest, all of these shows are much smaller venues.
Yeah.
Which, that's been kind of the thing is we have not found that Mount Carmel type of building.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's maybe not everybody can make every show sort of thing because, Winchester is definitely, I would say, if I had to bet, that is going to sell out because you have Session Moth debut, you have G Raver debuting, you have Kylie Ray debuting. So it's like that show got stacked up out of nowhere just because it was on a Thursday and things lined up for different talents that we've been trying to work with. So, the Odeon is a much tighter space. If anybody went to that House of Hardcore show a few years ago, they know that it cannot, you're talking 300 people, 400 people in there, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's a stretch with chairs. So, and we're going to do chairs at the Odeon. That's the plan, at least. So it's not, we haven't found that 500 capacity plus building that we can run. So, the thought is we're going to do more shows in smaller spaces, and if some people get shut out, some people get shut out right now.
So don't sleep on the ticket purchases is what we're getting at here. Any final thoughts here, guys? As we wrap this thing up?
I don't know. This got from a preview to ultra businessy and breaking down, and
that's what we do here on The Card is Going to Change.
And then in the middle, Wes Barkley cut a ridiculous promo.
I'll do another one if you want it. I think you were making excuses about that bar atmosphere because I did beat you at the Winchester, and I'm undefeated at the Winchester for anyone that's asking.
Oh,
but
wow.
I totally get the vibe you're saying.
Sticking it in and screwing it, aren't you?
I had
Jesus.
to. I had to.
All right.
I'm sorry, but I heard you were saying all that, and I just had to get that out. But it definitely has a different atmosphere and different vibes and different crowds. But don't miss out. March 8th, Billy Kidman, 7-year itch. If you don't go to the show, you'll probably be itching for 7 years to see Billy Kidman one time. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, plus who doesn't want to see Swoggle get squashed by Big Swan?
There you go.
Way around, man.
Well,
There you go.
no, I mean, he is physically going to be squashed at some point. It's a foregone conclusion, right? It's
So
just
I don't
by
I
accident that's
don't
going
need
to
to
happen.
save a stool for him at the after party. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. You might have to peel him off of
stooling it.
Stooling it.
Well, for Dom Guarini, for Wes Barkley, for the Duke, for John Thorne, my name's Steve Guy. If we don't see you guys,
What we learned is save your money because we have a lot of shows you have to buy tickets for.
no, spend your money.
Well, you got to save it up so you can buy tickets.
Spend the money on the
yeah.
tickets.
Yeah.
Save your income to buy our tickets.
Specifically, very specifically, not only this Friday, but that fucking WrestleMania weekend show. It needs to be good. Please.
Lots of surprises, lots of divulged surprises, lots more surprises. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So make sure you get there.
Make sure you follow if you probably are, but if you're not, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AI Wrestling so that you can keep track of all the surprises.
And check out the Patreon page if you haven't checked it out yet. Even if you haven't signed up, there's a lot of stuff on there.
There you go.
Give it a look, see if it's for you.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys next week right here on AIW's The Card is Going to Change.